So number 4, my prediction was down-credentialing will accelerate in medicine, technology, and teaching. And I was right about all of these, actually, every single one. The National Association of Medical Staff Services has been removing obnoxious questions from their credentialing applications in order to help physicians not have to be annoyed when they're renewing credentials. That's not so much what I'm talking about, as far as there's a big push by that same organization to adopt digital credentialing platforms, which is really going to help with licensing across state lines and all kinds of different stuff. That's going to get more and more common. It looks like a lot of changes are coming down the pipeline next year too, probably with the change of administrations, just to be quite frank. It's going to be interesting to see how healthcare specifically, business policy, and then higher education policy. I don't want to call it higher education policy, as we all know, I don't really believe that that's what it is. So I'll call it not academic policy, but academia policy is going to change completely next year. So I'm interested to see this specifically, but 2 other areas, like I talked about, major tech companies, IBM, Tesla, Google, Bank of America, Accenture have all removed degree requirements for certain roles. Canva, like I just mentioned. There's way more than that. We should probably have a giant list up on our website, but the shift really is to tap into a broader pool of talent. And there's a massive skill shortage across all industries. That's the solution to it, is volume. And that's what they're doing. And then teaching is another one that is always, for some reason, highly controversial, but this is happening and people can get with the program or not. In Texas, the Texas Education Agency offers alternative certification programs, and this allows people to become certified teachers while completing their teaching certification requirements and getting paid. And then New York has developed alternative pathways to teacher certifications because they have so many teaching openings. They cannot keep teachers for anything. A lot of these also include alternative certifications and allow people to actually test out teaching and transition into teaching from being a parapro or a teacher's aide. And this is to address the fact that there's not enough teachers. Arkansas has another one. They have a 2-year program that allows somebody to complete a bachelor's degree and to teach while completing certification requirements. And then Arizona is offering a teaching intern certificate as well. Basically, there's just a giant loosening of all these requirements. And then the main thing is that people are trying to reduce the risk of people not wanting to be teachers. So they're trying to get them into the actual environment before they buy a college degree in education and then realize they hate their life. I hope that this results in people who do become teachers being much happier with their life choices and them going into it much more informed.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the sooner that we can get them into the classroom and into that environment, I'm not even saying teaching, but just into that environment to see whether or not that's something that they want to do or something that they can put up with, the better. And then also in the same vein, the sooner that we can get them in there as well. What I mean by that is with the less debt, the better.
The happier they're going to be.
Exactly. Because with the amount of money that they're going to make, they shouldn't be in 6 figures worth of student loan debt. The math just doesn't math out. And we've talked about many times in the show, I think that is one of the biggest reasons for the dissatisfaction in the teaching profession. If you talk to teachers, a lot of them are unhappy in their role, which is interesting, right? Because you would think from the outside looking in, it's a pretty good gig. You're like, oh, we don't get paid enough and all that, sure. But I'm not shitting on teachers here. I'm just saying, if you look at it, they work 8 months out of the year and they get paid a full salary. It's a pretty good gig.
And yes, your contract pays you. The thing that people are going to say is a contract, which it is a contract. They get a contract every year for the most part, but the contract is a full-time salary. There are people who work all year, not 8 months of the year, for that exact same amount of money. Lots of people, including firefighters and EMTs, who put their lives on the actual line and actually go into burning buildings and actually deal with people who are violent and drug addicts on the streets, and they get paid that amount of money. So it's a similar pay. Like, it's a public work salary. You can choose to go into it or not go into it. And if you want people to be happier, then having them start at 18, actually test out if that environment is right for them, and then progressively get paid more while they get certified without having to go into bachelor's degree debt is the answer, especially master's degree debt. The amount of teachers I've seen get roped into master's degrees for absolutely no reason is insane.
I think that that's a good thing. Getting them into the classroom quicker in both senses, just so they can see the environment, see if they like the work, and then also to keep them out of student loan debt, because the less student loan debt they're in, the happier I think that they're going to be in their role and with their life ultimately, which is important.